Hey boys and girls, welcome to the next episode in Foundations. Well, today we move on to the question, can we know that God exists? And the answer is yes, we can know that God exists from evidence in nature and in the Bible and from an inner sense that tells us he does. Let's say that again. Can we know that God exists? And you would say, yes, we can know that God exists from evidence in nature and in the Bible and from an inner sense that tells us he does. Now I'm going to focus on nature. Now, how do we know that God exists? Well, I have an acronym. Some of you may remember it. I don't know if you can tell. That's a C, and that stands for creation. My acronym is C.E.L.L.S. So each letter means something different. C stands for creation. You know what? We are here. Somehow we got here. People don't know how we got here. There's pretty much two ways. Either we were designed by something intelligent, or we accidentally, spontaneously combusted, and voila, here we are with sight, sounds, ears, eyes, nose, mouth, bodies that heal, things in living color. Pretty amazing. So C stands for creation. Somehow we got here. You either have to go down the path of intelligent design, something outside of creation made us, or accidental blob, and that would be how we got here. Now, interesting, in Genesis, it says, in the beginning, and that represents time. There was nothing, and God created time. And then it says God created the heavens. And the heavens are basically the things that you look at up here, and God created the earth. That's the matter that stuff is made out of. Did you know people were made out of dust? Pretty amazing. So the first letter in my acronym involving nature is C. The next one is E. Did you know how exact God's creation is? It exists so finely that you could take a razor blade and have to have everything fit on top in a perfect line for the fact that we can exist. What do I mean by that? Well, Earth, for example. Earth is the just right planet. As a matter of fact, did you know that the air we breathe is about 21% oxygen? We need oxygen to live. However, if it was just 25% oxygen, things could blow up. If the Earth was closer to the sun, we would live in flames. If the Earth was further away from sun, we would live in ice, and it wouldn't work. And if the Earth were larger, then we would walk around with weighing 8 times as much as we do. So it's also fascinating how everything came together in an exact way. The next letter is L. L. And L stands for life. Pretty amazing. You know, science has tried to take parts of God's creation and make life, and they can transplant a heart. They can even make a heart that works for a short time inside of someone's body, but they can't take nothing and make someone, and they can't take something that's totally dead and breathe a soul and life into it. And then the next L in my C.E.L.L.S acronym is laws. There are laws which control the universe, which don't just happen by accident. One of those is gravity. Did you know that if there weren't gravity, we would end up dying because nothing would hold us to where we want to be? And scientists still don't understand gravity. It has no space, it has no matter, and yet it works. And the Bible actually says God holds all things together. And the last S, the last letter in C.E.L.L.S is Scripture. There we go. That looks like an S. Thank you very much. And from our quote, the Bible reveals that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. And amazingly, people try to disprove the Bible. And even though God inspired human authors to write it, it is true and has not been disproven since. So how do we know that God exists, or can we know that God exists? And you would say in 3 ways. Yes, we can know that God exists from evidence in nature and in the Bible, and from an inner sense that tells us he does. People all over the world, different cultures, believe that there is a God out there somewhere. How did this get into their mind? How do people know something is right or something is wrong? Well, that concludes this lesson in foundations. And I need you to sit up straight, point your nose to the front, because we're going to continue with our Bible lesson.